Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. So while I was setting up for the recording today, just sort of reassessing our situation, I noticed something. The Vaulter AI is generating a considerable amount of diplomatic pressure from having our system covered by their influence bubble. I thought I remembered that this was a thing that the Unfallen didn't have to deal with, that the Vines protected you from this, but I guess I was wrong. This is what happens when you only play the game, you only play like a couple of games of Endless Space 2 every few months. Apparently I'm not 100% on all the mechanics. So this is an issue we might have to deal with. I'm not really sure how we would do that. It ceases to be an issue if we get in an alliance with them. So maybe it's, I believe, now I'm a little uncertain. So maybe we should pursue that. We cannot currently ask for an alliance because that is advanced diplomatic technology. We have to get to here, I believe. Oh no, that gives you the cooperation protocol. Where is... Maybe alliances are not diplomatic tech? I thought they were. Maybe my whole brain is wrong. Oh no, here we are. Okay. Intergalactic Relations School allows you to create alliances. So, my feeling is that maybe this should be the next thing, because it seems to me like we might have some problems in the near future, and in fact, it's going to take us so little time to research that, maybe it's worth putting it first. Let's get that done, see if we can negotiate some kind of long-term thing with them, and then like if we can get allied with them, like I said, trading with their trade companies is going to be great for us. We can make a lot of good stuff happen. Now, of course, you always have the alteration to your win conditions that comes from an alliance. There's a lot of complicated stuff going on with like whether or not it's actually a good idea in terms of victory time to ally with another player. But for right now, I think it's a good short-term patch to a problem that we are going to start having soon, where they are able to constantly demand things from us. And we're actually putting out a pretty impressive amount of dust now. Like, impressive's maybe the wrong word, but a good amount of dust. An amount of dust per turn that makes me happy. Okay, this has come to an end, which is a real shame for us, because that approval penalty was basically nothing. It was just like free industry that we no longer have. Burra Tech Seeker can get the next level of optimal operations expert. He's moving up into some good stuff here. Clerical corrections will be very good for us. Is he... Okay, he is not a political leader. He's in the same party as our initial hero.
The only sentience in the galaxy.
She seems to like us. If we have the ability to offer an alliance, I bet we can get there. She allied with another player. Oh, she allied with the Lumeris, though. The Lumeris are very economy-minded, very dust production-minded. This would actually probably be a really good alliance for us to be a part of. Alright, so we're just continuing on everywhere. On IMEX, we finished colonizing a new world. Do we want to grab our other world now? We probably want to get some of these basic production things up. So, interplanetary transport network is going to be fine, not great here. Probably we want to go xeno-industrial infrastructure into predictive logistics, and then we can start building other stuff. But let's get the ability to build going first. Alright, we have a good thing going here. I should probably be tracking our... I keep dismissing the new person was born tooltip, but I should be paying attention to our population development. So we're getting pretty close to our Unfallen 50-point collection bonus, which is not terribly meaningful. We're only 6 Guardians off of the first meaningful Guardian bonus, and since we know that there's one in Maz and one in Indusa, right? Do we know that? Is that a thing I'm remembering correctly? There's something here we're not allowed to explore yet. Ruins and atmospheric. Okay, so there's not one here, but I'm pretty sure there was one on Maz. Yeah. It's a shame the Guardians are also pacifist political ideology. It would be cool for the Unfallen if the Guardians were like ecologists, or the other way around. Them being the same, them generating the same political ideology basically means that the Guardian ideology is worthless, because you're going to be so overwhelmed by the Unfallen pacifist ideology that the pacifists are basically guaranteed to rule your government forever. Alright, well, apparently we hit 50 on Fallen this turn.
Not the only sentient.
Yep, they're still trying to tell me that they would really love a
Horatio's
scientific
plans for this
thing.
galaxy do not include your meddling and rudeness.
See, that's a voice line that's very much at odds with the words written there in that dialogue box.
You're one of our favorite fish in this galactic sea.
So hold on, we had not met the Lumeris prior to learning this piece of information, right?
Welcome, welcome. How can the families help?
And we're at peace with them because they got dragged into peace with us. And we don't have the opportunity to trade for... Oh, no, we totally do now because we just finished that diplomatic tech. Now we have the ability to trade for tech, and like a lot more interesting things are on the table. So let's try to push the alliance. Do we want to... I think we want to try to negotiate it with the Vaulters. The Vaulters really like us.
Speak. You will see that our trials have not.
Let's see how they feel about this thing. We might have to cough up a little bit, but it's all... Oh. No, apparently we won't. They're just into it. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. That did drag us into war with the Riftborn, and that is a thing I absolutely should have checked. It also introduced us to almost everybody because it gave us both of their maps. So this is a good situation to be in. We are missing the Umbral Choir. I think the Umbral Choir must be in the game, and so they have chosen to remain hidden, which is the thing that they are allowed to do. Alright, the traces have been detected. I am about to start robbing our friends. You know, it happens. So yeah, we've discovered a whole bunch of unique stuff, and the homeworlds of several people.
You're one of our favorite fish in...
Okay, let's have a look at all of this new information. So we know where the Riftborn are. This war does not realistically affect us in any way. I don't have to care about this. The Vaulters are doing their thing. It looks like it's going okay. Yeah, we'll just let them do as they do. We are now allied with the Lumeris. Where is Lumeris space? Over here. Interesting. So this is one long wormhole. Wow, these are some good systems in the middle here. There's the Academy. You know, we could probably run some very profitable trade stuff. They have their subsidiaries set up way over here. What would be the cost of a trade agreement with the Lumeris?
I also have an empire to run and contracts to take out. I mean, sign.
They'd be way into it. It would be 136 influence per turn. I think we should go for this. I think this is a really, really good idea. And they're, like, way into it, to the point where we can probably get something off of them. I'm looking to see if they have any technology that's really interesting to us. Honestly, optimized logistics is a good technology, but it's probably too valuable. Like, I bet they won't go for this. It's not that bad, though, actually. I might be able to get that. Could we get something that's a little bit less high tier that they would be willing to give us for free? No, we're probably... So we're going to have to give up something if we want that, and I do kind of want it. So there's a lot of dust attached to that technology.
Yeah.
So what of ours do they want? Do we see anything in particular? Not really. Let's offer them some strategic resources. AI loves strategics. And the fact that suggest terms is grayed out probably is a bad sign here. Oh, no, apparently it's not a big deal. I'm going to give them as little orichalcics as we can and get away with this. It looks to me like 4 is probably the right number. Okay. Can we do this? That's wild that they are willing to give me that technology. And, okay, we just discovered the homeworld of those guys. They did sign it.
A bargain.
Is there anything saltier than a freshly inked trade agreement? And she means that in a good way. That's a good thing. Okay, we're going to have to manage our government a little bit. We're producing not enough influence for all of the laws and agreements we have rolling here, but I'm pretty excited about that. So, our trade companies are now running additional routes to their trade stuff. We have income of Gossamer and also Eden incense. I don't know where we're getting this income from? Did we discover new resources, or is that all just coming in from the trade companies? I'm going to say, it's a lot of gossamer to just be trade. Okay, there is a gossamer deposit on Zosmanos. So if we zoom out to the trade value, or to the trade scanner now, you can see we have this trade route that's running all the way through that super long wormhole across a single tile of... Which empire is this? Ooh, Craver space. Okay, but it's about to become Lumeris space. Across a single planet of Lumeris space all the way out to the subsidiary on Kai's, which is just phenomenal. What a good trade route that is. Has it affected our value yet much? Oh yeah, it like immediately almost doubled the output of both of these companies, and that will continue to go up, right? I'm pretty excited about our new position here. So what do we need our dust for? I'm debating whether or not we want to just plow more dust into those trading companies. We do have some stuff we could buy out, I guess. Oh, we finished the second economic behemoth. Should definitely roll that down to here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it's going. Sing needs to colonize that new world. Actually, how expensive is that? I am not allowed to rush that. That's weird. You usually can rush planet settling, I feel like. Well, whatever, it's fine. So I think we have quite a long time left on the academy rolls. Yeah, 13 turns. I think we can afford to just run dust into our trading companies for a little while here. Alright, where are we at with you? Even more influence. Yeah, that is definitely what we want from you. And that's helped quite a bit. We should be able to get positive on influence before we have to cancel anything. You could grab a small amount of food or a small amount of food. You know, either one. We do have quite a few units of unfallen population on Dill. I'm inclined to take that over this. This is just 10 flat food. There are no fertile planets in that system. Let's go this way. Alright, everybody's got lots of stuff to do. Back to working on gamma absorption. So we want to make sure that we actually have enough antimatter and adamantium to start building microwave pipes. When that finishes, we should probably stop selling those. And it's good to be allied with your neighbors. Do the, hold on, do the Vaulters have trading companies? It looks like they do not. We do not have any indication of subsidiaries or any, headquarters or subsidiaries. Well, they should develop those. So, at this point, with the Alliance being what it is, we would need to generate 3,640,000 dust in order to win this victory. And obviously, we're not doing a fantastic job on that just yet. We are in third place on the economy run, but I expect that the Lumeris and I will generate dust quickly enough that we can probably overtake people. Oh, I have a scout ship that has made it out to a pirate base over here. Why don't you just keep moving? Let's just keep revealing new stuff and not fight pirates, because that seems like a terrible use of our time. How long until we can scout here? We can start scanning that next turn. We can start vining it a couple of turns after. We still do need to generate a vine ship up here somewhere, but I think in both of these cases it's really important to get these settles finished. Well, it's not so vital here, actually. What if we update the vine ship design just to jam a better engine in there? Because I think that's probably a good idea. And then, I don't know, if we're going to have 2 defensive modules, let's split the types. Let's put this above colonizing Dill 4. That is really not a high priority. And we'll just have the one ship slowly grab us, the Solar Nebula, and then it can go and join the Vine Fleet after that. Because we really should get that under control. Alright, I have high hopes for our position here. Actually, we can probably reconfigure our government a little bit because we were running an approval law that we probably don't need to be running anymore. Now that we're allied with 2 players, we're getting 32 approval from our alliance, from our one of our empire traits, so I bet we can afford to drop Make Love Not War without actually affecting our overall approval level. It did drop one of our systems out of ecstatic, but we remain devoted, which is what matters for dust production, so I think that's fine. And that means that we could start running something else in that law slot, actually. We're not happy enough, I think, for the Super Tax Act to be good, but at some point it would be nice to be able to run that. Which means that maybe we don't want to do anything. This, like, species stability generates you a fair amount of extra dust, but I really don't want to cap my other population types just yet, so maybe we leave the slot open for the moment. Alright, as an alliance, we are very explory. Here's the thing, I'm not involved. Don't talk to me.
It is refreshing to see that we are not the only sentients in the galaxy.
Family comes first. She's acting like she's going to come and save me from the Riftborn, presumably. I don't know what else she could possibly be making reference to there. I'm not really in a lot of danger. I feel okay. You just do you. Okay, well that's bad news. We discovered 50 whole dust and also mineral rich, which is a good anomaly. But none of those things are resource nodes. So let's just get you headed toward Maz, which is going to take a minute. We'll go ahead and vine Indusa up anyway. I don't know if we actually even really want to have Indusa, but the vine ships are already on the way, and there's no reason not to do it. Right, I was going to use the dust to buy the stuff. We do need, I guess let's not do that because we need to set up a new trading company. Maybe we'd be best off buying the headquarters for that. So are we just going to headquarter on Othera? That gives us the maximum distance to Zosmanos, but the route between Othera and Zeturbia obviously is not tremendously valuable. Maybe we throw up a headquarters on... Well, we want to put the maximum number of nodes possible between our new headquarters and the Lumeris trade network. Right? We want those routes to be long and have a lot of nodes. So maybe Othera is the place that makes the most sense. And we do it like this. 18k. I don't really want to sell antimatter or adamantium. But this stuff sells all right. We're not going to be able to make it to 18k. That said, this'll build faster than it says because we're about to finish the predictive logistics. We'll let that get worked out. I'm not too stressed about it. We're not in a huge hurry. The questioner needs to keep going. It would be a good idea for us to continue expanding, obviously. I didn't even realize there was a star lane there. It was camouflaged a little bit behind our ship. So it looks like the Nakalim Empire is probably pretty large. We can't see the vast majority of it, but I guess we have ships of the Alliance scouting in that direction. Who is pink? Pink is the United Empire, it looks like. Yeah. We could try to negotiate peace with everybody. I suppose we should, if we can. Because we could push Dill back up to happy. Yeah, it's a peace bonus on each system. And in fact, by generating all that peace, then we could afford to run the Super Tax Act. So let's try to negotiate ourselves into a bunch of positive diplomatic states here. I would love it if we were cool. Can we please be cool? Alright, what's it gonna cost? A huge amount of technology and stuff. Well, that is a 1400 influence deal, and we could force peace for 469. So let's keep that in mind. I'm going to try to get consensual peace from whoever we can get reasonable consensual peace from, and then we can start forcing people. Okay, he's really not into it. We were at peace with the He-Show, but when we changed all of our diplomatic agreements, things changed. I mean, you guys were talking about how much you like me. Maybe we can make this happen. Maybe they have some residual cordiality. No, it looks like they do not. Probably they have a long-standing problem with the Vaulters, so by making ourselves officially friends with the Vaulters, we may have screwed things up a little bit there.
Do not bother us unless you have something of value to say.
Okay, I'll take that. That looks like a good deal. That's just free stuff right there. Provided he actually accepts. Okay. Every once in a while, you will have a deal that was blue on the bar get rejected. So I'm never 100% certain how these things are going to go. The Cravers are probably not... Alright, the Cravers are literally not capable of being at peace with people.
We are too polite to say what we are thinking.
The little red minus mark here is a pretty bad sign.
Hello.
Fair enough.
What are you thinking? What are you planning?
Planning? What do you mean? I'm a tree. Come on. Nope, she changed her mind. There are no terms to suggest. Okay. So that's all the consensual piece that we're going to be able to get. We're going to have to force some hands. So, for forcing peace, I think it's probably a good idea for us to try to do it on people who are far away from us, so that if they do have like a dramatic bad reaction to the forced diplomatic state, it doesn't immediately turn into me getting shot at, because I'm really not ready to get shot at. So like the Yui might be an okay force to do that with. Maybe Horatio. Oh no, Horatio's cool though. Horatio was into the thing.
Fathoming you out. Speak up.
That said, the downside of this is that the United Empire is unusually good at influence production, and so they are more likely to be able to afford throwing this off, which is a little inconvenient. Who's kind of far away from us, but also not particularly great at influence generation. It would be the Cravers, if it was possible for it to be the Cravers. I guess we don't really have a great target for this. Who knows? The Yui might, they might be cool with it. They might just stay chill. We don't actually know where these guys are. I'm going to do it with them. Alright, so force peace on you. We do not have the influence to do that again. But we should now be... Man, we're just barely ecstatic, huh?
In the opinion of the church.
I know. You don't like the thing I just did. Believe me, I've heard it before. But like, how are we doing in the other places here? So here we're at... We're at like 130, actually. I'm wondering whether it's a good idea to just go ahead and run the Tax Act. I think let's turn it on and see what it looks like. Yeah, we're still holding ecstatic almost everywhere. It's just dill, because dill is a really miserable system for trees to live on. That's fine. You know, we're maintaining devoted here. It's an okay outcome. And that has dramatically increased our dust output. And it will only continue to be greater and greater as our population rises. Yeah, I'm happy with where we are. For turn 70, it's not, we're not on record-breaking pace or anything, but this is not a bad place to be. And our trade companies are going to continue to increase in value on their own. We are still accumulating dust toward the purpose of buying out the trading company. If you're wondering why I'm not spending. Honestly, we could have started Optimal Operations Expert. That's enough population to benefit from that. Oh, that's not great. One of the tracebacks actually did finish. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought we had more than enough speed to get that stuff done. Well, we should probably get Cerebral Reality out. Interplanetary Transport Network's not amazing yet, but it will get pretty good here. And then, like, AI labor is going to be fantastic. Eventually. And then at some point we have to actually colonize these, right? Maybe what we do here is... that? Get those planets, get predictive logistics, have a ton of industry, like... That might be the best way to develop here. You are pleased but not entirely surprised to discover that one of your colonies has developed a fringe religion in which the central deity is you. Though small, it has already drawn a following. One of their more charismatic leaders has publicly asked if you would bless them with an appearance at the inauguration of their newest cathedral. Meanwhile, others in the system are watching to see what your response will be. While I do not want to push our religious political ideology any further, and honestly, the decline bonus is pretty huge. Let's take a little bit of that, please. Okay, you guys don't arrive until next turn. This thing does not really need to be around IMEX. But I suppose it doesn't hurt us to push IMEX. Maybe we want to move it to Zosmanos, have them both around Zosmanos. Or Zu could use a... Yeah, Zu could use a push. Let's have the behemoth hang out there. Go forth and generate me some economy. So what is the buyout cost relative to... So we're going to see like 2,500 dust come off that buyout cost for each turn that it spends building. We probably will be able to buy this out relatively soon. Then again, maybe we'd be better spending all our dust on... Oh, I'm allowed to upgrade the ship because it is in friendly airspace. Yeah, let's do that because the new engines will definitely help. Microwave pipes are very expensive to buy out, but they really do increase your economic potential considerably. Alright, and our hack got traced back. I'm pretty bummed out about that. That is not the way I wanted that to go. The run from Zaturbia to Nair... Yeah, okay. The trace is only here. In one turn, we will certainly complete that. I really wanted to try to get to 5 sleepers in the Vaulter Empire, but now I'm a little nervous. So they deleted our backdoor. That means they don't know it was us. They traced it back to one of their systems. That could have been a backdoor installed by anybody. Maybe we'd be smarter to start running hack to other places. Now, the thing I'm a little nervous about here is that I think if we try to run a hack from like Zu to Leo, I believe it is still the case that the Vaulter systems will detect our hack and run it back and kill it. So if we wanted to hack these guys, can I use this as an intermediary node? No, the path is too, you can see at a certain length you can't run the thing anymore. So actually it's not super easy to hack the Nakalim. Not really terribly easy to hack anybody except for the Vaulters. Well, shoot. I guess then we're just continuing to install sleepers? It's certainly not ideal. Can we run from, like, Athero directly to Artemis? No, it's too... The distance is too great, unfortunately. Well, then I think we just keep hacking Nair? Except I can only have one hack running to Nair at a time. What we need is we need Atlas. Atlas would be really convenient for us. Unfortunately, it's a little awkward to vine it up because it's too far away from our existing vine network to, it doesn't have the ghost tendrils. We can run our vine network through friendly systems, and we actually provide bonuses to people that we are friendly with when their systems are vined. So they might just let us run the vines through Nair and Artemis out to Atlas and then let us settle it. And from there, we could threaten hacks on Yellow. For right now, though, I guess replacing the backdoor on Artemis is maybe the best thing we could do in terms of giving us access to other people. Or we could try to install a backdoor on Warden from which to hack Green. Or maybe Esh is a better idea, but then running hack from Esh to Leo is going to trip the security systems on Warden, probably. I wonder if you install a backdoor on Warden and run a hack from Esh to Leo, would Warden still freak out when your hack goes through? Or do the backdoors protect the signal? I'm actually not sure. I guess we can experiment with it. So we want to run the hack from far enough back that the trace is awkward. Never have enough proxies, right? Here's how we'll do it. We'll run the hack. It shouldn't be a big deal to get it to Ash, I think. Because we'll run through Arcturus, but it's only 2 extra turns, and the distance we're talking about here is long enough that it should, I think, should be difficult to run a trace fast enough for it to matter. We'll run an accelerator on that node. We could also run an accelerator on Arcturus, but I think I want to save the bandwidth for the next hack that we're going to have to start up next turn. Because our signal will have to spend some amount of time hacking through Arcturus to get to Ash. But I assume that's already included in that number of turns estimate. Maybe we need multiple Vine fleets. I was looking at things like, now that we're in a position where we're maybe vining things not just to settle, but for like long-term economic and hacking purposes, maybe we need more. Let's continue to embed sleepers. Hopefully they will not realize what we are doing until we have enough to be enough to steal from them. And what do we need to be doing on Zeturbia? Zeturbia could benefit from interplanetary transport network. There's a lot of population on Zeturbia too. AI labor is not very good here. Only 1 planet actually benefits from this. We don't have our intergalactic supermarket anywhere. It's fine, but not great in a bunch of places. Oh, maybe we should build some microwave pipes. I don't know. This seems like an okay place to do it. Population cap's pretty high. We build pretty quickly. And then we are not actually on the world that has the Quadranix deposit, but we will be soon. So with the resources we have now, how does 18k look? Is this at all doable? Get about 9 from that. Yeah, okay, 18k is totally doable at this point. Let's make it happen. We don't need to sell all of this stuff. We should probably hold on to some because like it's used in buildings. All right, is that actually enough? Because obviously there's some truncation / rounding going on, so I didn't know what the actual values involved were. Okay, our poor scout is being harassed by a military behemoth. Apparently the Cravers are at war with Horatio. Well, that's inconvenient. Horatio space is friendly, so we are allowed to retreat to their systems. But yeah, we'll go the other way then. There's a lot of ships over there. Good luck, my friend. We could yell at him about it and demand he stop attacking our ships, but he's just going to tell us to go get screwed, so not really a lot of value in doing it. Alright, what do we want to be researching now? Probably we want to stay in the economic tier, especially since we got a high tier economic tech for free. Like, crust engineering is not totally awesome, especially since we don't have a source of Orichalcix, but we might want this mining tech eventually. We could instead grab, like, dust microloans, which obviously is a fair amount of dust, or quantized economics, which is also pretty good. The Galactic Security Charter will allow us to build 2 additional trade subsidiaries, so all of our headquarters can run routes to them, and also all of our Lumeris friends' headquarters can run routes to them. Honestly, it might be worth it. Like, I know our empire is pretty small and compact, but why not have every single system have either a trade headquarters or a trade subsidiary, right? Seems like an okay move to me. Alright, so we retreated as we had to. We're going to be able to buy out a subsidiary next turn, and I'm not 100% sure where we want that to go. I mean, probably, honestly, Indusa would be an okay place for it, but since it's going to be a while before we could inhabit Indusa, we probably just put it on Zoo, just because that's a place where we can put it. A ton of tiny trade routes, built early and then really pumped full of dust, has the potential to produce the kind of output that we need. Longer routes are better, but we are not really in a position to be able to get longer routes. Okay, apparently this quest finished. The Lumeris and I are primarily responsible for raising the total amount of dust produced in the galaxy, which is a very good sign for us. Oh, and this event is lovely. Okay, so just a ton of approval, which we don't need. Pacifist political ideology, which we don't need. And then also the upkeep cost on our empire goes up, which is actually just a bad thing. Oh, there's a blockade on Primus. Did the Hisho declare war? Well, that's going to have to get fixed.
Situation.
Alright, we're going to have to either kill some Hisho ships to clear the trade route, or maybe just negotiate peace with them. Which would probably be... hopefully will be a little bit easier. I mean, I don't have a lot of ability to project military force, obviously. Do the Lumeris... because clearly the Hisho feel comfortable going to war with the Vultures. The Vultures do have some ships nearby, but it looks like nothing incredible. Is there a Lumeris fleet somewhere that could help us out? Actually, the Lumeris are really far away. The Lumeris have some basic behemoths. Okay, they have ships. Yeah, they might be able to make something happen here. The Hisho fleet is all small ships. If our military module technology was not so far behind, we could probably do something. Well, let's see if they can be talked out of it. So it'd be really convenient for me if those trade routes were running.
I listen with one hand on my blade.
Interesting that doesn't offer up any kind of. Oh, actually, he's just down. He just doesn't actually want to be at war. Why declare war in the first place, then? He's not even going to extract any concessions from me. In fact, I might be able to extract concessions from him. I think you want to give me a technology. But what technology? Well, he really doesn't have access to a lot of good stuff, does he? Coordinated command is probably too big. My guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess we could just take the cheap version of this. Obviously, any term that we add here is going to cost us. What about some dust? Let's say you give me some dust. I think it is still probably the case that he likes us better than he likes the other members of our alliance, so we are probably the right ones to be brokering this deal. How about, okay, like maybe 500 dust, just for the trouble. You know, I had to come to the table. This is like I'm spending my time. Don't make me walk away empty-handed here, man. Come on. We're friends, right? Basically. Sort of, kind of. Yeah, we're friends. That 250 dust was not worth the time we put in there. But you know what is worth the time we put in there? Unblockading my trade route. Okay, so I think that should actually be fixed. Unfortunately, you don't get a notification when a blockade is removed, which is kind of strange. We are not going to attack the Nakalim scout ship. I am fine with them knowing that we are here. Yeah, I still have this option, which I don't intend to exercise. We don't need to shout at the Nakalim about being in our space. It's fine. So I guess we're good. We do have the approval, or we do have the influence necessary to force peace again, but we don't actually need to. We've managed to get up to ecstatic on Dill, so I guess let's just keep moving. Like I said, Zoo is where we want to do this. That is 10k. We rustle up 10k without selling any of our good resources? Probably, right? We got all these super spuds that I have no use for. We have a little bit of Jade Onyx income now, which is cool. 10k might be tough. I mean, we could sell these again. The Gossamer's fairly valuable. Yeah, that'll do. Let's buy that out, get that running. We are definitely going to need to colonize another world here. What do the outputs look like? We should probably take the food world next. And then once that's set up, Xeno-industrial infrastructure is pretty good, and then we can come back and examine that a little bit more carefully afterward. The behemoth, it turns out, very, very helpful. That's a lot of resources. Okay, so do we want to try to negotiate a normal peace with somebody, though? It'd be cool if It would be cool to think that the Nakalim are not going to attack us. Is there a reasonable peace deal that we can make happen here for that purpose? No, it looks like there is not. We probably can't afford to run a trade agreement or anything with them. I'd like to get our influence up, though, so that we can afford to do that sort of thing. Do they have trade companies? Actually, it looks like they don't. You know, I honestly really like the color of green that we ended up choosing for them. I think that looks really nice. Does anybody else have trading companies? Is it just me and the Lumeris? And presumably all of the AI, or at least many of the AI, will end up with trading companies, but it looks like nobody else has prioritized them enough. Okay, well, that's fine. So our trading companies are bringing in Gossamer, Eden Blossoms, a fair amount of Jade Onyx, actually, which is definitely interesting. So if we were to try to put one of these together, we could go like Jade Onyx and... I mean, the Gossamer is not bad. Gives you a ton of influence. This is not a bad one, right? We have a hard time getting enough Jade Onyx, unfortunately. Is there a lot of Jade Onyx on the market? Because we're bringing it in pretty slowly, but if we could supplement it via dust... There's not a ton. There's enough to suggest that some of the AI are selling them to the market, but I would feel a little nervous about that. So what we could do instead is just use the blue cap again. I don't hate that. That is totally okay. Let's not make this decision until we're somewhere near having enough resources to execute it once, but I think that might be the direction we're going in. So we have Gossamer coming in naturally, and then we have another half point per turn coming in via trade. That's maybe the right way to go. You can see the vines being called forth by the vine ships. A subsidiary on Cygnus would not be a terrible thing once we finish our Galactic Security Charter, so that's probably what we'll do with that vine ship next. And remember to grab the vine ship over here and actually have it start doing the thing. No, pirates are doing all kinds of pirate shit. We don't need to care about this. Other, more military-minded civilizations will handle the pirates. I have every confidence that that will happen. But we're focused on some very different things. So you're on Zhu. Does you need food? Probably, right? I think it's a pretty food-light system. Yeah. So one sterile, one fertile, mostly cold. This would be okay because there is a fertile planet. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff we want here. I think I'm just going to take the industry. We have the food situation pretty much under control, and there's not actually that much population space here. And so many messages.
But we feel no.
I don't really... The Cravers are asking me for aid in a war against somebody I'm kind of friends with. The Sophons would like to join my alliance, which I'm not wild about. Horatio and the Riftborn are working together now, which is a problem because the Riftborn are at war with us, which means that we just lost a person that we were at peace with, which has dropped Dill down below ecstatic. Which means that maybe it's time to force peace with somebody else. Honestly, the Sophons wouldn't be a terrible person to do it with. They were asking us about an alliance, which suggests that we can maybe get some kind of peace out of them. Okay, they really... Never mind. They really don't feel that. I'm gonna force it. I don't think we're in any danger from them. If they decide they don't like what I just did there, they're not gonna come over here and shoot us or anything. And that allows us to get back to 100% ecstatic status. They're going to have some bad feelings about it, and we're not going to listen to those feelings. Okay, he'll get to Maz eventually. That'll happen. 2 turns left on the entwining over here. 1 turn left on that flight. Oh, and we have enough resources to get some microwave pipes going. Where's the next place? Is it IMAX? It's probably actually the capital, right? The thing the capital's doing right now is not as important as building microwave pipes. These are valuable resources, though. We're talking about a lot of money here. Yeah, go ahead and finish that, and then build some microwave pipes. Fertile and temperate worlds. There are a bunch of places where adaptive taxation systems is going to do not a lot for us, but there will be some systems where it's just going to be a huge amount of money. Okay, you guys are still good. I really wish that this Nakalim ship would move on. I just don't want to be getting the notifications all the time. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll some dust into our trade fleet. But yeah, you can see the value of these trading companies is increasing pretty sharply already. Some of that is our trading companies being in a better position due to their higher level, but some of it is definitely just like the trade agreement that we have with the Lumeris is so incredibly valuable. We are not really in a great position, just in terms of our empire and our available systems, for having a large functional trade network, but the Lumeris almost couldn't be in a better position to be our trade partner. Oh hey, we did this thing. I totally forgot that we were even doing it. Well, congratulations, Dale. The process is done, and standing in the middle of a thriving, unfallen community, its branches swaying in the breeze, is a guardian? But that can't be how they're made. So, what is this? Why? To make a safe place for their siblings to grow? Wait, then why are there guardians on other worlds? Honestly, the Unfallen raise too many questions to answer. Yeah, that's definitely interesting, right? If guardians come from Unfallen, the fact that there are guardians everywhere is definitely a thing that bears further examination. Alright, who's attacking me where? We got jumped by some pirates over at Zakor, and we have not healed enough to successfully retreat. So we stand and fight. We die, but we die trying to burn people to death. You know, as is our way as friendly tree guys.
I would rather send you an arrow than this reply.
Okay, that's obviously threatening.
The Empire will...
We hope that the cold, dark of
They would like a science agreement that we can afford, and they probably are outputting quite a bit of science. Like, this is probably a good idea. We're not going to be able to get any more trade agreements running until other people learn to trade. Actually, it might be in our best interest to distribute the trading technology to all the other empires to increase the likelihood of that occurring. So what do we want to build here? Pulvis production, probably a good idea. Predictive logistics is maybe something we should put in the queue first, though. Do that, and then we'll figure other stuff out, because that's a ton of industry there. All right, that's going to take 15 turns. Not ideal, but at least it's going. You guys are still good. So the bad news is, technology trading is pretty expensive influence-wise. So running that science agreement is definitely going to hurt our ability to trade technologies, but I think the correct way to solve that problem is to generate more influence rather than to cancel the agreement. Where are we at on the academy rules? 7 turns left? I guess I could have waited for the notification, because we'll get a notification at 5 turns remaining, right? Hey, here's something I'm curious about. Where are we at? First of all, okay, just verifying that it is indeed the case that our trade routes are unblockaded. If the trade routes were blockaded, there would be a number greater than 0 here. Where are we at on this victory condition? Have we surpassed people yet? Okay, we passed whoever was in second. Now we are in second. That number's still climbing pretty slowly, but you know, our rate of gain is accelerating. We will be okay. We will get there. Oh, hey, we did this thing. I totally forgot about this. I was not thinking about it. The center of light and life will be a handy thing for us. Technology, civilizations, history. We are unused to seeing and learning so much. to absorbing this quantity of information, or data, as some now call it. Events, discoveries, and artifacts fall upon us like torrential rain. It is all we can do to not be swept away. The heart beats more strongly now, as though driven by our concern. New knowledge is absorbed as quickly as it can be, and when it is too great or too complex, it drains like water into our subconscious, and is captured there by the heart, biding its time to resurface and be integrated and understood at a pace more natural to the rhythms of the unfallen. Maintaining our reason and equilibrium becomes more and more difficult, but the unfallen are nothing if not hardy and resolute. Still, the new knowledge brings a challenge we had not considered, one that digs at the corners of our society. Do we grow, change, and evolve, or do we fall back upon the ways we know and ride out the turmoil? Is the chaos of the galaxy simply a new analogy for fire? And if so, is it the fire that renews, or the fire that destroys? It would be good if we could discover these answers before this fire becomes too powerful for our control. It does not escape us that the analogies we use are flood and fire, agents of cataclysm. So continue to improve your science for a revolution. Curiosity burns, but it is a renewing fire. Or stick to tradition. Maintain approval. Okay, so like this is absolutely free. We would get this without even having to think about it. We would receive a reward that is honestly pretty low in value. Like, obviously, dust water is a good thing for us to put in a system development, but this is not enough dust water for it to be reasonable for us to include dust water in our system developments. If we're going to do that, we would need to have a source. A renewable, reliable source. The reward here is pretty easy to get as well. It's pretty low in value itself. That's not a ton of influence. That's like the amount of influence necessary to put a single tech on the trading table. I'm a little torn about that. Hold on, we'll come back to that decision. Okay, that has come to an end. That's a real shame.
I would rather send you an arrow than this reply.
You did not actually ask me for tribute. I'm assuming what happened here is that all of the members of my alliance got the message that they were going to send us a request for tribute, but then only one of my alliance members got the actual request and they denied it, and then we all get the message that is sounding mad about it.
May you bask in the light of the virtuals.
Okay, they feel safe. Fair enough. I don't even know where your sovereign space is. Okay, my feeling is that we should force peace on the Nakalim at this moment. They're starting to make noise. A saber is rattling. I can hear it. And frankly, we're not in a position. Oh, that's awkward. We don't actually have the amount of influence necessary to do this. We're not in a position to fight them at all. So next turn we'll force peace. Indusa is now entwined. You guys go to Cygnus and start that. And here on Indusa, I mean, we should take it, right? Like, we have the opportunity to take it. So 03216 and 3068. These are both terrible. Should we take this? Maybe I should just leave it entwined so, root network. I don't know if we even want to bother, honestly. We only have one more system underneath our colonization threshold. And it may end up being the case that we want to take Maz. I guess we can get the probe ship to Maz and reveal some stuff here. We found a point of population. There's some remnant living on this planet. Welcome to the Empire. And also some XP. And our ship now has some extra vision, temporarily. Alright, we will stay here and reveal this Guardian. But this is not an amazing system either. Obviously, Maz 2 is a much better planet than we have available anywhere else. Just thinking about, like, places to build a trade company and stuff. I guess if the Nakalim were going to declare war on us, it would be more of a problem for the Vaulters than it would be for me. So maybe it's not so critical to push peace with them. Oh, we're actually getting real close to our population cap here. We should do that, and then these planets should really be specialized. Get all that done, and then we'll figure out more stuff. Interplanetary transport network, like, we should definitely have a cerebral reality. So it'll be good XP for Ublart. A lot of stuff's going to get finished real quick here. We also have Othero, which is near its population cap, but would actually need some tech to be able to push further forward. But we do need to just build the center of light and life in a bunch of places. It's like on this system, it's not so good. We only have one population type here, so it'll only be 10 science. It's not exactly critical. The transport network is getting okay, and then we should probably like specialize these worlds. This world's not hot, so industrial zone's a little bit less impressive here. But I guess that's like nothing is going to be super good here. Yeah, and then build some like very basic stuff. We do need to build security operations bases on all of our systems that are within the trade network, which is to say all of them because of the way our empire is constructed. But for right now, I guess, you know what, this is also going to be pretty good here. Maybe make that a slightly higher priority. We have a lot of things to build. So what do we want to do with this test? I'm going to be honest with you, I do want to do things to boost our ecological party, so I might take this version of this just for that, to try to push the ecologists back into the government. That will definitely happen, and I would really love to find a source of dust water. It would actually be super great to use dust water in our system developments. We just need to see if there actually is any anywhere. It is not always the case that all resources spawn in the galaxy, and particularly the high tier ones can sometimes, even if they are spawned, only be on a couple of systems. And unlike most factions, it's really, really hard for us to be able to just like reach out to a distant system and grab it as a resource mine. Alright, so we've unlocked the ability to get a level 4 system development upgrade. We have no resources to put in such a thing yet, though. What do we want to do next? We could push harder for more science. We don't have access to all the curiosities yet. I would actually like to fix that. So is it ultra deep habitats? Yeah, this makes absolutely everything visible and explorable. I have strong feelings about that. Let's try to get that going. The Dark Matter Institute is fine, but mostly we're doing this so that we can see all the anomalies, because that'll give us better vision of a better understanding of the curiosities, or the luxury resources that are left. Endless evaporation inhibitors allows us to colonize desert, which we need, and also gives us the ability to terraform our sterile worlds away, which is a thing we might actually want to do. Let's focus on that for a moment. You need to stay put for another turn. We have an election coming up real soon. Oh. I have a hacking operation unassigned. Hey, there are only 2 sleepers on Nair. That means they're cleansing them, right? Because we had 2, and then we completed an operation to place another one. I am fairly sure that's true. I guess let's find out if we can deliver that. Do we want to take Indusa? How are we doing population-wise here? We're up to 5 nearest. That's going alright. Keep that boosted, probably. It'll help with the political output. I'll actually be excited when we get to 10 of those. So where are all my nearest? Did we sent some to Zu? Yeah. Okay, we're about to have another one born. Are there any on Zosmanos? There are not, and there's plenty of room for them. Is Zu level 2? It is. Okay. Let's bump 1 point of these guys over to Zosmanos. And then does IMEX have any? No, and there's not really any room either. We're about to have the ability to colonize this world, so we could use one on Othero. Zaturbi is full. We could send one from here to Othero. Let's do our best to manage this population level upward. And then after we get the predictive logistics, probably it's a good idea to specialize your planets as they start to fill up. Obviously, in this case, we don't have a tremendous amount of population anywhere. And do we want to just roll our current money into a trade fleet? I guess to some degree, it matters whether we're colonizing Indusa. Because if we're colonizing Indusa, we got to buy a governor, right? I'm actually really torn on it. Like, it's a bad system, but should we just be taking every system we can get? I'm also not 100% sure if Indusa will actually work on the trade network because there are no star lanes. I think trading vessels will not go over open space, if I'm remembering correctly. So, like, Cygnus is valuable to us as a place to drop in one of our extra subsidiaries. Yeah, I'm a little uncertain on this. I guess let's not take it, because each system we take above our threshold is potentially going to introduce unhappiness problems that we're going to have to deal with if we want to stay ecstatic. We should probably only grab disconnected systems if they're actually valuable. We'll grab Cygnus, and then we'll expand to Nair and Artemis and Atlas if we're allowed to. I would very much like to colonize Atlas. I think that's a great fit for us, and it has a resource that we are not getting a lot of. Alright, let's, Did I actually run that hack? Yes, I did. Okay, let's try to run... I was gonna say to the election, but it's actually a few turns. Let's run one more turn here. So I guess actually I should have been plowing dust into our trading companies. Yeah, we do have a couple of systems left where we could install some of those extra subsidiaries, like IMEX could use one. This is a thing that we can prioritize with dust, I suppose, because we're almost there. We're 5 turns away from the next Academy event. We are definitely not interested in reducing the cheat cost during the election. We are using a government type that doesn't even allow cheat actions, so that's a no-brainer.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
They're considering offering us a science agreement, which I am not going to be able to take. Nor, frankly, would I probably take even if I could. Zoo is probably not the place to build the next microwave pipes, but it's good to know that we have the resources up for those microwave pipes. This is probably an okay place to build... Actually, AI labor is only okay here. Predictive logistics is fairly fast. We could do that and then colonize the barren world and get 60 industry out of it. That's not too bad. It's possible that that we don't need to build all of the industry stuff right away all of the time, but I have very strong feelings about the industry stuff. This is a good thing to do, and we'll just bank industry for next turn, because I have no idea what I want to do with it all yet. You're going to stay there one more turn until you can awaken that Guardian. Alright, we have Vision of the Endless Secrets, and where is that desert world? Here in Othero. Okay, let's make sure we get that in the queue, because Othero is actually running right up against its colonization limit. In fact, it will probably be completely full around the time that we finish this this colony. We've discovered a new life form, so this is good. This is almost certainly a luxury resource. I'm just gonna rush that, I guess. Oh no, we can put it here and it won't even add time to the colony. It's such a cheap thing to explore. Yeah, so we'll know what that is next turn. Do we have any other new anomalies jumping out? It looks like the answer is no. I guess actually this screen is a good way to do that. So Othero and Zeturbia has found a new one. What have we here? There's some ruins that we can't explore yet, but we will be able to after we finish Ultra Deep Habitats. And you may as well do this, since you can do it without disrupting that amount of time. Unfortunately, life form I don't actually know what type of anomaly dust water would be. I would expect it not to be a life form, because, you know, it's not. It's water. It's not alive. But who knows? It's dust water because it has the nanites in it, right? So who knows what it would actually read as. But I think this is probably a good place to stop for now. We have a rapidly thriving economy. Like, our amount of dust income per turn has increased very sharply over the course of this episode, and hopefully we're going to see even larger increases over the next one. We are totally on track for this victory type, I think, as long as we can hold our kind of tenuous diplomatic situation with all of the other empires together. But we are out of time for today. That is going to be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time on Monday to see if we can turn this fledgling alliance into a full-fledged trading power. And we'll see you then.